Okay, I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order, the meeting of February 21st, 2018, and we'll start by standing for the pledge. Michael, will you start us off in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And at this point, I'll turn the meeting over to...
Yes, tonight for our invocation, we're very blessed to have with us the Reverend Mary Cooper from the House of Praise right here in Riverhead. And I know you have an engagement at the ecumenical service at the Methodist Church right after this. Reverend Cooper.
Good evening. Please bow your heads with me. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us this far along the way, we thank you, O God, for allowing us to come into the land of promise, that we may sojourn here with our children and our children's children. We ask your blessing upon this board and all of the community that have come together with visions. We ask, oh God, that there be a meeting of minds, that we may live peacefully and joyfully. And we give you all the praise and the glory for what's about to take place in this building. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper.
And at this time, I'd like to ask, in honor of Black History Month, there's going to be a presentation, and I'd like to ask from the NJROTC, Cadet Lieutenant Commander Michael Daniel to come up, and then after Michael, Betty Harris will come up, and then Michael will get up and speak again. So, thank you for joining us, Michael. We appreciate it.
Civil War soldier David Chippy answered President Lincoln's call to fight in the Civil War. A corporal in the 29th Connecticut Infantry, one of 900 black men, Native Americans, and at least one Hispanic, all farmers, laborers, and freedmen, who trained with sticks because they had no weapons yet. Both Mr. Chippy and his mother are buried in the Riverhead Cemetery. Next, Garfield Langhorne, Riverhead's most famous war hero. Garfield was honored posthumously in 1970 with the Congressional Medal of Honor for sacrificing his own life to save others. His statue sits outside Town Hall.
Thank you.
And the post office was named after Garfield Langhorne, too. Yes.
Thank you for joining us, Betty.
First of all, I want to thank the town supervisor, Laura Jean Smith, and the town board for giving me this great honor of being a part of this meeting. And I want to greet you all with the love of Jesus and the love of my love for all of you. I'm here for the Riverhead First Finest for Equality. Charles Crump was Riverhead's first Afro-American town assessor in the early 70s. His wife, Betsy Crump, along with Ben Butler, Leah Hamilton, and Marion Johnson, were pioneer African-American teachers in the Riverhead School District. Richie Ligon had to fight to join the fire department, but after his initial rejection, he didn't stop. He was the first African-American to join in 1977. He went on to serve as a captain of the Red Hook and Ladder Company, fire commissioner, and was Riverhead's Firefighter of the Year in 1993. And I also wanted to add, he had gone on a couple of calls the day before he had passed. So he was a dedicated fireman, and they were rejecting someone that really loved what he did. And I thank God also for letting him come in. Harriet Gilliam, elected Riverhead's first black councilwoman, 1992. Thelma Booker was the first African American to join the Women of the Moose in 2002 and broke the color barrier again, being elected their first African American senior regional in 2004.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And then Michael, we'll have you come back up again.
Before he graduated from Riverhead High School in 1997, Rashad Robinson hosted a talk show on Cablevision's public access channel and led a protest or two. Rashad has continued to make his voice heard through work in government, community organizing, and advocacy. Since 2011, he has served as Executive Director of Color of Change, working to strengthen the political voice of Black America and bring about positive change, and has grown to a highly respected civil rights leader and human rights advocate.
Thank you, and we appreciate you sharing all this history with us. It's so important. So, and we hope that in a few years we'll be talking about you.
That's my goal now.
So thank you very much.
Betty, I just wanted to mention Willie Patterson too. Because he was awesome. I mean, he was my football coach, he was my principal in the middle school, and he was just a great guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, one of our streets in downtown Riverhead is actually named after Garfield Langhorne as well as post office.
So thank you. So now, can I get a first and a second for approval of the town board meeting of February sixth, 2018 for the minutes?
Yes, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for February 6, 2018. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Votes, please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Wooten. Giglio, they went all
Yes.
out of order. Jen Smith,
Yes.
the minutes are approved. I'll just read correspondence.
Yes, please.
And, letter from Farrell Fritz attorneys. This is regarding Peconic Care, the addition research and rehabilitation center site plan application for tree clearing and grading. AHRC, there was a letter of notification and intent to establish and operate a new individualized residential alternative, IRA, at 13 Sebastian Drive in Riverhead. Under reports, the tax receiver total tax collection to date as of February 14th was $88,750,434. Tax receiver January utility collection report was $444,509.59. And just to make note, there will be a special town board meeting on February 27th at 7 p.m. for the purpose of a public hearing for the consideration of the designation of Calverton Aviation and Technology as qualified and eligible sponsor for the redevelopment of a portion of the FCAL property. That's it.
Thank you very much.
And if I can just ask Supervisor if we could just have a moment of silence for all the people that were killed in the school this past weekend in Florida, and pray for our leaders on the federal level that they do something about the guns entering into the schools and killing all these children, and the effect that it has, the rippling effect that it has on the families and on the country. So if we could just please have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. At this point, if anybody would like to come up and address any of the resolutions, there's no public hearings tonight, but if anybody would like to come up, address any of the resolutions before we move on to them, please come up to the podium. Seeing nobody, we will be...
John,
Can I tell you,
7:40.
I don't run a fast work session, but I can run a fast meeting.
Sal, did you get here late?
Yes, he did. Well, he was here early.
He was here.
Resolutions were late.
Yeah. Didn't get what he needed.
All right. This is you, Jim.
Oh, it's me?
Yep.
All right, 106, it's authorizing removal of fixed asset records from system. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
hold on, let me get organized. I just went down, so.
Dan's like, you threw me off.
I was already there, but not here. Okay, Kent was a yes?
Yes.
Okay, Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 107.
Harriman Estates and Alcobog LLC settlement budget adjustment. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Well, first I was wondering why this was coming out of a fund balance. Bill?
It's just the Harriman Estates, the settlement, the budget adjustment, what fund it's coming from.
And from an insurance reserve fund. So there's plenty of money in that fund to cover this. We paid half last year as part of the settlement, and the other half is being paid this year.
So this coded account is the insurance, the 499
Yes.
account is the insurance reserve account? Okay.
Yeah, that used to be the 175 as we used to refer it to in the past.
Oh, okay, so it's just
Which was the risk retention fund, and what that was is a fund that's set up to handle all claims and lawsuits. that gets carried over from year to year, and that's the fund that's been used to pay the settlement. And as Bill pointed out, we've already made one payment pursuant to the stipulation of settlement, and the second one's coming down.
And so this is the whole, this is paid in full when this is, this,
That's correct.
That's correct.
already.
All right, thank you, Bill, so I vote yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
And just so everybody knows, this is Harriman Estates, which is the property on Riverside Drive. When you get closer up to 105, it's, I can't even remember how many acres it was, but I think there were 180 houses proposed in there. And they decided not to build the homes, and the county bought the property from them. So they already paid their engineering fees, and they paid a lot of the fees associated with the review of the subdivision and the site plan application. They sued the town trying to get that money back, and because the town did not perform any services and they had paid the town for those services, we decided to settle rather than pursue further litigation, which would have cost us more money in the long run. So this money is just returning the fees back to them for the open space on Riverside Drive that the county bought the property and there was no review of a subdivision application. And I'll vote yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith,
Yes.
resolution adopted. Resolution 108.
Awards RFP for audit services for Town of Riverhead, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
I'm gonna vote yes, because I believe this, the first year alone saves us $35,000.
Hubbard,
My concern with this, when we got back the bids, was that with Cullen and Danowski, the next resolution is the other organization, AVZ, that also put in a bid, and they've been doing the audits for a number of years. Cullen and Danowski put in for like approximately 900 hours of service to do the audit. The audits that have been done years prior are in excess of 1,400 or 1,500 hours worth of work. And I'm just afraid that in this case, you might get what you pay for. Not that they're not a competent firm, but I'm just not sure that they kinda knew what they were getting into with this particular, RFP, or with the specs on this bid that went out. So I'm more comfortable at this point in time, because we also had an independent auditor recommend that we go with AVZ, who we've had for the past umpteen years, and I agree we need to move on to a different auditor, but I don't think this year. So I'm gonna vote no for this resolution.
Giglio,
$35,000 is a lot of money. They're a qualified company. A new set of eyes is good after 10 years, and I'm gonna vote yes.
Wooten,
Don't matter. I'm gonna vote yes.
Jen Smith,
I'm voting yes. I think 10 years with one particular auditor is not, not good for the town, so I think it's good to change the order and save money at the same time. So I vote yes.
resolution adopted. Resolution 109.
Awards RFP for audit services for the town of Riverhead. So
Seconded.
moved.
Sorry, Tim.
Kent,
Yes.
No.
I mean, no.
Just a second, Bob, with this one, because we've awarded it to the other one, do we vote on this, or how does this work?
We put both up because
I was
we weren't
questioning
sure in
the,
work session.
two resolutions coming on, because I missed that discussion. You can,
We can carry the vote for us, or we can withdraw.
You already called it, so you might as well vote.
yeah, I think
call
you
it
guys will
again.
vote, so, you probably should have withdrew it prior to the vote, but
That's right.
Okay.
It's not gonna be cast.
okay. Hubbard,
Yes, yes.
Giglio,
AVZ is a very competent firm. They do a lot of audits throughout the county and several different towns, and they're very competent. And I'm hoping everything works out well with Cullen and Danowski. They've assured that even though their bid was for 900 hours, that they will do the whole audit for the cost that they told us that they would, even if it takes them 2,000 hours to do it. So, you know, AVZ, I'm sure, will be back in the town in a few more years, overseeing some of our audits and the work that Cullen and Danowski is going to be doing for us for the next few years. So I'm going to vote no for AVZ.
Wooten,
I can appreciate where Tim's come from, Tim, I agree with you on a lot, but it's, when AVZ first came on, they were doing all the catch-up way back when, I thought 5 years was a good run. 10 years is even better run. So I'm not opposed to having it. I know there's other smaller ones that ABZ can fit in during the year, but I'm gonna vote no for this.
Jen Smith.
I vote no on that. I think ABZ and Cullen and Danowski are both competent companies, but I'll vote no on this.
Resolution 109 is not adopted. Resolution 110.
110 is amends policy for transfer of funds, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 111.
Sanitation recycling program budget adjustment, and this is for the butterfly effect. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yeah, and you know what, we're encouraging you to bring all of your clothing and things of that nature. The girls are going to be taking the clothing, they're gonna be washing it, they're gonna be folding it, and they're going to be, recycling clothing. And Tia does a great job leading these girls. They're a great group of girls, so what we can do is help them by bringing our stuff to them, and then they can recycle the clothing, so, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 112.
Authorizes attendance at the Government Finance Officers Association Annual Conference. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 113.
Old Orchard at Bating Hollow Water Capital Project, 30131, closure. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
So,
Yes.
Giglio, yes.
Okay, 2 yeses, okay. Wooten.
Yes.
Jen
Pretty
Smith.
wants to
Yes.
vote for me.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 114.
This authorizes the supervisor to execute.
I sweat.
This authorizes the supervisor to execute grant application for upgrading septic system at Reeves Beach. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
long meeting, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 115.
I just have a question on this one before we call this one. For the bids that are attached with it, the third bid, when you were accepting the bids, doesn't, the amount of the third bid when they were deciding does not seem to be the bid that was put in. I just saw that today. Do you have that? Want me to show it to you?
So then we should
I
table
think we
it.
should table it.
So,
Okay.
I'm gonna make a motion that we table resolution number 115, which
Second.
would have awarded the bid for annual heating, ventilation, and air conditioning in the maintenance contract. And if anybody is sweating out there like we are up here, then you'll realize that we need to do something about this quickly. But respectfully to the supervisor, if she sees discrepancy in it, then we should definitely table it. So I make a motion, we table it.
A second on that?
Second.
All right, moving to second to table, vote
Kent.
please.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution 115 has been tabled. Resolution 116.
Ratifies and accepts the postponement of a retirement. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Great detective, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 117.
Increases the hourly rate of a call-in clerk. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 118.
It appoints a temporary substitute custodial worker 1 to the Building and Grounds Division of the Riverhead Town Engineers Department. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I hope she's back soon, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 119.
Hello?
I'm sorry. Reassigns the salary of the Assistant Community Development Project Supervisor, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Abstain?
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yeah, these were raises that were discussed between the former supervisor and one of the town board members, and they were told that these employees were getting raises and increases in their salaries, and the employees were told that they were getting the raises and the increases in the salaries, and when the supervisor came on board, she wanted to analyze all the increases that the staff members that were promised that they were getting increases, to see the kind of work, and we held off on this one and doing comparisons with other towns as to what this type of position is paying based on the experience. And I believe this employee has had 25 years with the town, so it's not something that I was in the discussions of, but it's something that wasn't promised to an employee. So to take it away at this point, I think would just bring down morale. So I'm gonna vote yes. It's a small increase.
Wooten.
I think it's more than just worrying about morale. This particular gentleman does an outstanding job for the town.
Yes.
And he certainly deserves it. I vote yes.
Jen Smith.
I'm also gonna abstain on this one. Once again, this was the decisions from last year's performance when we were not here, so, I think he does an outstanding job, but I will abstain on this vote.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 120.
Ratifies the appointment of a temporary call-in assistant recreation leader to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 121.
Accepts highway superintendent's personnel report and request for,
Do you wanna take these all, they're all together, 121 through 125, or do you wanna read each one individually?
They're all the same, we should just put them
I don't think
together.
there's any
Any
controversy on this.
objection to that? Okay, so then just read 121 through 125.
Is it?
Do them all at one time.
Yes.
You're gonna-
Okay,
Make a motion to do them all
have a
in one
motion to do, resolution 121 through 125.
I make a motion that we do resolution 121 through 125, so moved?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I'm just trying to quickly do this. Tim, can you, David Ortega? So these are just moving everybody up a step for, the maintenance mechanics and people that have retired and.
It was all the same as the last one where they had done it. They reviewed them I guess before the budget season last year, and they were done. But some of these that were put through needed to be posted, prior to them coming up. That's why it didn't come up, in that second week in January with the other ones.
Okay, and Gio, obviously you're requesting these increases, correct?
Yes.
I'll vote yes.
Wooten.
Yes, to grouping them together.
And Jen Smith.
Yes.
Okay, resolutions 121 through 125
Five.
are grouped together. Now we're going to call them as a group. Now to vote.
Just read one of them, I guess, right?
All right,
Correct.
accepts highway superintendent's personnel report and request for town board resolution to effectuate personnel request. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please to resolution 121 through 125.
Kent.
I'll abstain because we were not here at that time.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I was not in the meetings when these, raises were told that they were given, but if the highway superintendent, with his budget, is recommending that these people get increases based on their performance and based on the need that he has in his departments for these people that he's giving promotions to, they've probably been operating the equipment that they probably were not getting paid for. And with all the great equipment that he's buying at the discounted rates, he probably needs more of the heavy equipment operators to operate this equipment. So I will vote yes.
Wooten.
What? Yes.
Jen Smith.
I abstain on these ones also.
Resolutions 121 through 125 are adopted. Resolution 126.
Accepts the resignation of a maintenance mechanic 2. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 127.
Ratifies the temporary transfer of an account clerk typist. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Based on shortages in other departments, we need this person to float. Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 128.
Approves employees' request concerning accrued time carryover. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
This is consistent with the contract, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 129.
Grants permit,
Before we do this, maybe, I would like to have Jefferson Murphy from the planning department, address this. There might be a couple changes that have to be in this
Right.
resolution.
Based on my emails today or other things.
And I just want to find out shortly.
This is what we talked about in the work session. There were some amendments that needed to be made that Jeffrey has amended, so he has, I believe, you have the amended version. They just came up with numbers today, so.
Yep, I will go through all of the changes with you, line by line. Good evening, for the record, Jefferson Murphy, Building and Planning Administrator. In reference to the application before you, I'd like to go over the following changes with you on a page-by-page basis. On page number 2, I inadvertently used a capital I instead of a Roman numeral number 1, and the fourth whereas. It should say June 1st, 2017 instead of capital I. So I apologize for that. On page 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, paragraph 6 and 7. By the way, just for the record, strikeouts were for the deletions, and then the underlines are the proposed additions. Under the resolved, the town board hereby finds the application to cut down trees. We're going to strike out undertake land clearing, and then add, and to demolish and remove 2 dilapidated buildings. That would be the same edit for that resolved and the one that goes after it. On page number 5, this one is one of the more substantive changes. This is on condition number 8. We now have a dollar amount for you. It's $100,000. This has been reviewed by Vinnie Gaudiello and both Jeffrey Seaman and Bob Kozakevich and myself.
Thank you.
And it would be a check, a certified or a bank check in the amount of $100,000 for the purpose of removing and disposing of dead trees, revegetation, and stabilizing the site. In condition number 12, I inadvertently put a semicolon instead of a period at the end of that. And then on the last page.
I thought that was an emoji you were giving us.
So back to number 8.
Yeah.
I guess, so the $100,000 that we'll be holding,
Yes.
I guess once they get their building permit to actually build the structure, that money could be released to them?
Not until after they get final site plan approval, the Mylar is signed, and they get a building permit to start construction, can that money be released?
Right, so once they get the building permit to build the structure, then that money can be released.
That's
Just so
correct.
that we can be clear when they'll be asking for that money back, because
That's
I'm sure
correct.
that it will be, okay.
Money's
And-
money's just there for remediation if it needs.
That is correct, if it's needed. This is just an insurance policy, basically. And then on page number 6, it is the first resolve that you see after condition number 13, that now reads, resolved that the town attorney be and hereby authorized to accept the $100,000 certified or bank check upon findings it is in proper form as otherwise described and set forth in this resolution. So you'd be allowing Bob to accept that bank check or a certified check.
Okay, thank you.
thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
So Bob, so we read this and it's as amended because it
It's
was
going to be
just
as amended, so the
okay.
resolution will, as set forth by Jefferson with the amendments.
Yep.
Does anybody from the public want to hear about the amendments?
Resolution 129.
You know, if there's anybody from the public that wanted, because there's changes to the resolution, did anybody want to come up and speak? Seeing nobody? Okay.
Grants permit to take down trees, remove 2 dilapidated buildings, and undertake land disturbance to Baconic Care Addiction Research and Rehabilitation Center, Janway Calverton, SCTM number 0600-135-01-7.56 as amended. So moved.
And I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Abstain?
Hubbard,
Yes, it'll be good to get this project underway. It's been a long time.
Giglio,
After several conversations and emails back and forth with the town attorney, and based on the town attorney's memo saying that this is the proper mechanism in order to allow them to take down trees without actually getting a building permit for a building, which is what my understanding of the code was. We do have,
They are gonna get a permit for building too, though.
eventually,
Right.
but
Before
as
they
of
do
right
work.
now, they're getting a building permit for the land clearing, and in speaking to Brad Hammond in the building department, and based on the memo that the town attorney gave us, saying that legally we can do this, I will vote yes.
Wooten,
Yeah, I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that the need and the fact that there's time constraints on the take permit, with the time window frame for when you can clear and can't clear because of long-eared bats and short-eared owls and whatever else is up there. So we have to work around their scheduling with the DEC, so this permits them to go ahead and not forgo this for another 10 months. So
Thanks
I
for
vote
putting that
yes.
on the record, Jim. Really, I appreciate it, because I missed putting it on the record, and it's important so that it's not precedent setting for other projects going
correct.
forward.
All right, so I vote yes on the clear.
Jen Smith,
Yes.
resolution adopted. Resolution 130,
130 authorizes to publish advertisement for general hardware items for the town of Riverhead. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith,
Public by the
Yes.
general hardware.
resolution adopted. Resolution 131,
Authorization to publish advertisement for propane fuel for the town of Riverhead, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 132,
Authorization to publish advertisements for truck parts for town of Riverhead. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 133,
Acknowledge appointment of and sets compensation for deputy supervisor. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Abstain?
Giglio,
Oh. I'm sorry, I thought we were voting for Brian, but we did that last time. I think Tim is gonna make a great deputy supervisor. He really is very interested in like I've been here for 8 years, so I know a lot of the issues where Tim's been here for a couple of years, and I think he'll be a great assistant to the supervisor. And I definitely support this resolution, yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 134,
Authorize the supervisor to execute agreement with Riverhead Lacrosse Club Incorporated for referee umpire services for the town of Riverhead Police Athletic League, girls grades K through 8 and boys grades K through 3 lacrosse program for the 2018 calendar year. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 135,
Authorizes supervisor to execute agreement with Suffolk Youth Lacrosse officials for referee umpire services for Town of Riverhead Police Athletic League Boys Lacrosse Program grades 4 through 8 for the 2018 calendar year. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 136,
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post a notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law for an amendment of chapter 237 entitled Highways, Streets, and Sidewalks of the Riverhead Town Code, Article 4, obstructions. So
Second.
moved.
Oops, seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
I found one small thing that needed to be corrected. Section 237-11, it has strikeout for snow and ice removal, and then semicolon sidewalk maintenance.
Correct.
The language that follows should be underlined, because that's being added in. So snow and ice removal for residential premises, semicolon sidewalk maintenance should be underlined.
I'm not finding it.
Okay. Should be underlined because it's
Because
additional.
it's an addition.
Oh, okay,
So-
gotcha.
So that
Thank
should
you.
be done. That, otherwise, fine.
So this says for commercial premises,
Bob,
No,
you say
it was-
10 or 11?
It was just, it's the
11,
11,
it's
just,
residential, 11.
just the
Okay.
title
This
needs to be
This needs to be
underlined.
underlined.
It's
'cause
just the
it
title.
wasn't underlined. Okay.
Yep.
Are we ready for the vote?
Did we move it, did
We
we?
moved in second.
It's been moved in second.
All right, moved in second and vote, please?
Kent?
Oh, as amended.
And I'm also glad we added the part in about the school sidewalks. I vote yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yeah, the town attorney, Anne Marie Prudenti, did a great job on this, and I think it'll be better for all the residents, especially our highway superintendent, yes.
Wooten?
Yes, at a public hearing.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 137.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post a notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law for an amendment of chapter 289 entitled Vehicles, Traffic and Parking Regulations of the Riverhead Town Code. 289-2 stop and yield intersections, railroad crossings, parking fields, Mastro Realty subdivision off of Youngs Avenue, Calverton. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
This is a subdivision that was approved by the planning board, but there were no stop signs put on any of the intersections within the subdivision, so this is adding the stop signs into the subdivision, yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 138.
Authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement with the County of Suffolk Office for the Aging for the AAA Transportation Program. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 139.
It's got a lot of
Gonna
pages
take
to
a
go through,
second,
so
yeah.
we'll wait. It's about a 60-page resolution.
We gotta keep
goes
going
on.
and
How many
going.
pages is it?
Doggone
I know, I
attorneys.
could do control F,
37.
WS.
Bob, you attorneys do like to write.
Diane, you have to train
There's no
me.
contingency left
Oh,
on
there we go, wait.
There it is, I
Okay.
got it.
Control F. There you go.
Okay. Resolution 139, extends agricultural advisory subcommittee, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
It's a great program, the subcommittee for the TDRs, and the people at Grumman that really want to expand really need these TDRs in order to get square footage added, and they can buy and save up farmland in doing so, yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 140.
Rejects bid proposals and authorizes town clerk to republish and repost notice to bidders for requests for proposals for FCAL bicycle path, Vietnam Veterans Memorial Trail construction project. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
I'm sorry, I have to say something on this too.
What else?
On the general construction contract, the bids came back really high, more money than the town actually needed, than the town actually had. So we put it out for a bid, and the low bidder came in at $700,000, then the next bid was 1.1 million, the next bid was 1.2 million, the next bid was like 1.8 million, and then there was another bid for 2.4 million. And we only have 850,000. So we're in the process of bidding the general construction contract for the town. We're hoping that, based on those lines, we'll be able to pull it in under budget. And also with the help of our highway superintendent, who's been great in this rec trail, he's been helping us out big time in this rec trail. Going and mowing the sides of the rec trail and driving around the rec trail with me, trying to figure out how to do this and keep it under budget. So I think that by putting it out for an RFP and by using the highway, some of the highway work on Line Road, which is a road in the town of Riverhead that goes through the property, I think we'll be able to save the money and get the trail completed under budget, and hopefully we'll be starting that construction sometime in the spring, April, May. Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 141.
Amends resolution number 937, 2017, and approves amended license agreement with Dayhaven for reuse of facility at Stotsky Park. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent?
I'm very pleased to have this, as someone, my father passed away after suffering with Alzheimer's for 10 years, and this would have been wonderful for us. So I vote yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 142.
Authorize the supervisor to execute lease agreement between the Riverhead Water District and the SMSA Limited Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Bench Strength Partners, who's the outside agency that's negotiating these contracts for us. We're gonna be, increasing the price of the lease on this cell tower, or on this water tower. I think it was, 40,000, we're gonna be doubling that to like 80,000 that we're gonna be getting. So Bench Strength Partners did a great job, and our outside counsel did a great job in renegotiating these leases. And I wanna thank them both, and I will vote yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 143.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider a local law to amend chapter 301 entitled zoning and land development of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
To the public.
Yes to the public hearing.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 144.
Approves an amendment to the agreement with Fundamental Business Services, Inc., FBS, for parking violations collection. So moved.
Oh, good.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
I'm gonna vote yes. This will be able to, the last couple weeks, we've been clearing up, some of the parking, discrepancies so that tickets can be issued, and now if you get a ticket, you can pay for it online. So it's convenient too. So yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 145.
Amends resolutions 127, 2017, and 959, 2017. Final site plan application of Peconic Bay Medical Center, Northwell Health. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
This is because there were several conditions that were put on the site plan of Peconic Bay Medical Center, and those conditions, I thought, were going into an agreement, and then the resolution got adopted saying that it had to be a covenant, and there were like 1,000 people that had to sign the covenant. So trying to get everybody to sign the covenant was, it might have been 10 years down the road that that happened. So in an agreement, Peconic Bay Medical Center can sign it directly with the town, that it is, if it is ever not a hospital anymore, they won't be entitled to the same things that they're entitled to. Yes.
Wooten.
It won't be a hospital, there's no more sick people.
We're building.
What am I doing? Voting yes, I think.
Yes, okay. Jen Smith.
And one of the things is if Peconic Bay Medical Center does sell, to somebody else, then the covenants go back into place, and then they must, execute them, so, yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 146.
146, approved settlement. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 147.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post a notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law for an amendment of chapter 289 entitled Vehicles and Traffic and Parking Regulations of the Riverhead Town Code, Article 9, Snow Events. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes to
Jen
public
Smith.
hearing.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 148.
Authorizes attendance at the 2018 New York State Town Clerks Association Annual State Conference, and I so moved, but I just wanted to mention my support for this until I found out it was in Honolulu. Diane was very excited about going, but no, it's in Albany,
It's
folks.
in
Trust
Albany.
me, it's
Oh,
nowhere you want to go. Not this time of year.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 149.
Authorizes town clerk to publish and post public notice to consider the adoption of a local law entitled Local Law to Increase Salary of Town Highway Superintendent for 2018 fiscal year, subject to permissive referendum. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I spoke with the highway superintendent about this today, and I also sent out emails saying that I was not agreeing to increase the salary of the highway superintendent by $20,000. Our highway superintendent has agreed to take on several responsibilities in the town, including the municipal garage, the yard waste facility, and the sanitation department. But by town highway law, he's not required to do that. And Gio has indicated he doesn't want to be highway superintendent forever. So I don't want to increase the salary of the highway superintendent by $20,000 a year, only to have a new highway superintendent come in 2 years from now and want this salary, and then we have to find somebody else to take over all the responsibilities that Gio has said that he would do for the town, for the benefit of the town. So I don't think that it should be a salary increase. I think it should be a stipend. I think it should be specifically for Gio because he's agreed to take over these responsibilities. And I don't want to see other highway superintendents come in the future and say, and I think the language is wrong. And I don't think that we should go to public hearing on this language. I think that it should be in here as a stipend specifically for Gio because he's willing to take on this responsibility. We've done this in the past. We've given out raises in the past to employees throughout the town that have agreed to take over these responsibilities. And now, that was $35,000 that we did when John Reeve retired, that we gave out all these raises, and those people are not doing the job. So now Gio has stepped up because the job's not getting done and saying that he will do the job, but I think it should be in a stipend. And I'm not voting to go to a public hearing on this resolution. So I'm voting no.
Wooten.
I think the problem is that there's certain laws that have to be from the state when it comes to elected officials, and when you post certain salaries that you just can't give stipends, it has to be done
No,
through
but it
local
should be
law.
written as
So
a
I'm not
stipend.
here to debate with you,
You
I'm making my comment just like you
Yes.
did. So, that's why it has to go to local law in order to do anything with a salary that's been posted. But in any event, I think there's other ways to go with this as well. So I'm gonna vote no.
Jen Smith.
I vote yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 150.
150 authorizes notice to bidders, plant number 4 line system replacement, Osborne Avenue, Riverhead, Riverhead Water District H2M project number RDWD 18-01. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 151.
Authorizes notice to bidders, construction of booster station at plant number 15, contract G, general construction, contract E, electrical construction, Kettles Lane, Jamesport, Riverhead Water District, H2M project number RDWD 1702. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 152.
Pays the bills. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Pays the bills in dot matrix. Bill, is this the admin system? Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Different woman.
I just have a question for the sewer district. The expense on that, the Calverton Sewer District expense on that for the pay bills, what was that for?
For the capital projects?
No, the Calverton Sewer District, not the Calverton Sewer capital projects?
Are you talking about all the bills?
Yeah. I think Bill's just looking it up.
John, wasn't my fault.
153.
I counted the minutes that were over, I can tell you that.
So what, 7:45?
We got a whole staff, you got Patrick, you got John, you got
does that bill have anything to do with the Pecana Care?
I don't know, I have to look, it's not one bill in particular, that's a summary by fund.
It's $84,000, but I know that there was a lot of work that H2M and, the Calverton Sewer District did in preparation for the site plan for Pecana Care, and the engineers have to get paid and other things. I just don't know if it gets paid out of the Calverton Sewer District, so the money has to get transferred into the Calverton Sewer District to pay those bills for the engineers' reports.
But we didn't do a budget transfer.
I know, but it's gotta be a budgeted line item in the Calverton Sewer District in order to just be able to pay the bill, otherwise we'd have to do a budget transfer.
That's right, I can't find that specific payment, I can look it up here and get back to you on it, so I would hold up.
Okay, all right.
It is budgeted for, it could be more than just one, I'm looking for a list of checks, so I have to,
Okay,
the man will come up with that number, so I'll find it and send it to you.
all right, I'll vote yes on this, and then I'll follow up with the information.
Resolution adopted. Anything on the
We
floor?
just have, one.
Okay, so I'd like to call a vote to take a resolution number 153 off the floor. And 153 accepts the resignation of a member of the Board of Directors for the Riverhead Industrial Development Agency. So moved to take it off the floor.
And I'll second to take it off the floor.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution 153 is taken off the
Diane, do you
floor.
have copies of the resolution?
I only have this, but I'll call resolution 153.
Yes.
Accepts the resignation of a member of the Board of Directors for the Riverhead Industrial Development Agency. So moved.
And I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Like to thank Lou Caligeras for all of the work that he did for the IDA for many years. I vote yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes, it's just important that he retired or resigned back in January, but in order to move forward and fill the placement, we have to accept his resignation. I don't think any of us want him to go, which is why we didn't put the resolution up, but I vote yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Okay, we finished with the resolutions. If there's anybody from the audience that would like to come up and address the board on any items, I ask you to come up now. State your name and where you're from.
Not that tall. Hi, my name's Ellen Hoyle. I'm from Riverhead, New York. Dear Supervisor Jen Smith and honored council members, on Thursday, February 1st of this month, the Riverhead Times Review published an article that, given the current state of events surrounding the land parcel known as EPCAL, to me and I assume others in the community is quite concerning. The article stated that the business Island International, the only current major employer in EPCAL, will be forced to relocate due to a shortage of acreage. Tim Stevens, according to the article, bought the land on 2,900 acres. However, it appears he is being denied the ability to expand for a lack of 2,000 to 3,000 square feet of land on which to expand. And because he will be forced to relocate in order to grow the business. Why, when we have been looking for businesses to settle here, are we focused on huge proportions of land at the cost of small successful businesses? At EPCAL, we are focusing more on the controversy than success. We are not talking acres upon acres of land, but a mere several square feet. I would hope that the board has considered all possibilities in dealing with this matter. It would be an embarrassment if during the entire battle over EPCAL, Illuminati, and S-Power, we are at lost sight of the one company that is today actually thriving and employing people at EPCAL, all for the sake of several thousand square feet. Thank you.
Just so you know, we've been working very closely with them. We certainly want to keep them here. We certainly want to bring the jobs here and the economic development. We've been in touch with them. We're working with them as closely as we can. There are some issues as far as the DEC goes. They're in what was the Calverton Camelot, which was previously sold. So we're working with the state, we're working with the DEC, we're working with the town, we're working with the Pine Barrens Commission. There's no stone left unturned because
I'm
we
glad to
really
hear it.
want
Thank
them to
you.
be successful and stay here, so.
And if I can just say that I have been working with this company since 2005. They are one of the most successful companies in EPCAL. They are looking for a 20,000 square foot addition where their only build out is 12,000 square feet. So they need that extra 8,000 square feet and they're unable to get it on that piece. They are going to be keeping their employees that they have right now at the current facility, but they do need a larger operation because of all the contracts that they have. So that's why there's no room for them to expand their business, but they're not looking to just pick up everybody and move them
I would
out.
just hate to lose the one people that seems to be
Yeah, no,
succeeding
that's-
out there when we're fighting over everybody else.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
they're just looking to expand, and they would love to
Yeah, I would
expand
love to
within
see
the
them
park,
expand.
but, you know, there's no property in the park for them to lease, there's no property in the park for them to buy, so they are going to be building, or they're actually gonna be leasing space in Pennsylvania for like $2 a square foot. And the building, essentially, the snow plowing, the overhead, the lights, the parking lots, everything are gonna be maintained by the property owner, so where are you gonna get anywhere in Long Island, $2 a square foot and pay lower utility costs and lower taxes? So it's a larger issue, but, you know, their expansion is because they're so successful and their contracts are so enormous
So
that
wait,
they
it
need.
makes it, you made it sound like, wait, they're expanding, but are they going to Pennsylvania?
No,
or are
they're
they
only
expanding
going,
here?
they have several divisions, and they did
So
plan
just
on.
one division is
One
going to-
division, the one division which they had previously planned on moving over to Pennsylvania. But their operation here, they would like to continue, and we are trying to work with them to have this go as swiftly and as quickly as possible so that they can expand where they are and retain the jobs that they have here and create more jobs. So that is going on currently.
Right, but I don't want the fear to be out there to the employees that currently work for the company that they're gonna be out of a job because the company's picking up and leaving. They're not, they're just looking to expand.
Yes.
So the people that are currently working there will hopefully continue to work there, and, you know, they do need to expand within EPCAL for 20,000 square feet, and I know the supervisor met with them a couple of weeks ago, and she's working with them on trying to get them to do that expansion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Seeing nobody else,
Move
could
to adjourn.
I have a first and second to adjourn today's meeting?
I move it.
I second it.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Iglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The meeting is adjourned.
And I apologize for the excess of heat in here.
Maybe it's only hot up here.